let's do it. Come on in. Come on in now. So, Auntie Lee, yeah, can do a thing. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Before we say anything else,
Salute, salute, salute.
say his name.
Welcome back to Kicking
Stephen
It
L.
With
Johnson.
See who we got in the
He walked in
building.
alive,
He walked in alive.
This live tonight is about
but he
Stephen
didn't
L.
walk out.
Johnson.
He walked in alive, but he didn't walk out. Truth in the dark, we gon' bring it to light.
Yeah.
Hands in chains, still they say it was doubt, but something ain't right.
Yeah.
Oh, no, something ain't right.
Y'all listen to the words. He's telling his story.
Yeah.
Hey,
We
hey,
still
hey.
stand, yeah, we carry his name. Through the silence, through the system, through the pain, they can cover it up, but we breaking them chains. It's that truth, it's that fire, it's that flame. Hey, they said drowning, but the story don't breathe. How you drown with no water inside what they see. How you cuff, how you shackle, no way to be free. And still they expect us to trust what they read. Nah, it's deeper than words on a page. This a life that was lost in a system of cages. This a mother still crying, still flipping them pages, trying to make sense of them lies they be staging, making nights. Something shifted that day, make it where he didn't walk away. Custody means you protect, that's the code. So explain how he
Come
died
on, y'all.
on
Hit the
somebody
like button.
else's
Get
road.
alive.
He walked in alive, but he didn't walk out. He didn't walk. Truth in the dark, we gon' bring it to light. Hands in chains,
Listen to the music,
still they
y'all.
say it
The
was
words.
doubt, but
Salute,
something
salute,
ain't
young
right.
nine.
No, something ain't right. Don't forget him, don't scroll past his name. This ain't numbers, this ain't stats,
This
this
is
ain't
for
fame.
Stephen
This
L.
is
Johnson,
soul,
guys.
this is story. This is a pain that we carry, cause love don't fade and we question cause we supposed to. When the answers don't line up, we expose truth. When the system go quiet, we go louder.
Come on,
God
hit the like
gave
button.
vision, we don't move coward.
Hey,
This
May,
ain't
May.
hate, this that
Aaliyah.
righteous fight. This that stand in
Hey.
the dark and still bring light. Even when they tired, even when they done, we still stand till the truth gon' come.
This ain't just a case.
Salute, salute,
It's a
salute.
calling.
This is a songography, guys. I
the
write
world
songs
move
about
on,
everybody
we
that I
don't.
talk about.
Because
It's
love
nothing
like
new.
this,
My channel has been built
It come
off
from
of
God.
songographies, writing songs.
he walked. We the voice, we the truth, we the shout for the ones who were silenced.
Come on, y'all.
We
Drop
won't
Jessica
stop
Stephen
now.
Johnson
We
in the
won't stop
comments.
now.
We still stand,
Come on.
yeah, we planted in
Drop
truth.
those fists.
Every lie get exposed, every hidden get proof. This that love only heaven
Come on,
produce.
come on.
And we fight for the truth.
Salute, salute, salute. Welcome, 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 welcome back to
Before we say
Kicking It
anything else,
with Auntie Leah. I'm so glad to have you guys back in the building with me tonight. Let's see who we got in the building.
Let me go.
Salute, nephew.
Going on, Auntie? I'm about to go share it off on my page real quick.
Okay, we probably won't have a large turnout as we do when, when we talk about Kendrick, but hey, we still gonna tell his story, right? We don't care about none of that. Never was about views, never was about money. It was always about telling the stories of people who have passed away under nefarious circumstances, like Stephen L. Johnson, for one. He is the young man that died on October the 10th, the year 2000. Well, ironically, his death date is the same day that Kendrick Johnson's birthday. Kendrick was born on October the 10th, 1996. And y'all know I can't mention Kendrick's name too much or I will get emotional and I will start talking about Kendrick. But hey, we're going to have him tomorrow. And then we also have Jimmy Williams Sr. coming up as well. So everybody get used to hearing about other cases being mingled in our search for justice for Kendrick Johnson as well. There are so many people. Hey, Kanisha, my sister, how you doing, baby? Ain't seen you in a long time. But just, get used to us going, mingling in other cases now, right? Because it's just a lot of going on surrounding KJ's name, unfortunately. A lot of accusations still going on, fake pages being made in our names, and it's just a lot of mess that we don't need to be associated with. And until that mess calms down, I cannot give that a lot of my attention right now because it would drain my energy. And I just want to help anybody that needs help. I love helping people that need help. I love talking about people that need justice. There's plenty of families out here that would love to have me dig into their cases and will appreciate me. And also they will appreciate the songs that we make, right? Yes, right. All of this stuff that I'm still hearing about this stuff being dragged out, baby, I'm 51 years old. I don't have time. Aaliyah, that song I wrote for Stephen L. Johnson is telling his story. His mom had contacted me months ago, but honestly, my mind and my heart has been Kendrick Johnson for months. But it wasn't reciprocated. It never was. It was finally admitted. The way I was feeling was validated, right? And now I'm still going into a stressful situation by being shunned, by being defamed, by a deliberate attempt to just shut my whole page down by not only the original ops but new ops, right? I can't do that. But that don't mean I'm gonna stop searching for the truth about Kendrick Johnson. I'm gonna always search about the truth. But we are talking about Stephen L. Johnson tonight. He basically passed away when he was in police custody.
Mhm.
Um, he was arrested. His mom, she is hi Angela. She is a little nervous. She may be in the comments, and she's still real emotional. Even though this happened almost 26 years ago, and it happened in Georgia, Macon, Georgia, same GBI. Actually, one of the same people that were connected. Well, no, I think that's Jimmy Williams Sr. So I was going to say Rodney Bryant was connected to the autopsy of Mr. Johnson, Mr. Stephen L. Johnson, but no, no, no. I don't want to get that mixed up. I want to get it all intertwined. But same county, same GBI, different corner. But this corner, I believe her last name is Walker. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. She didn't even have a license when she performed allegedly Stevens Johnson's autopsy. So he had got arrested on something that should have been a misdemeanor. They charged him with possession of Mary Jane, and it was a personal, I suppose, package or whatever, and it wasn't to distribute. Um, it was like a $70 bag, but they charged him with distribution anyway. Hello, Kara. May, we'll let his mom tell. We have a little cut of a video interview that she did some years ago, until she feels the anxiety of coming on live and telling the story again. She gets really emotional about it. And I don't want to.
She know we on.
Yeah, she knows. And she may be in the comments. I sent her the link. I, tried to calm her nerves. I advised her that she doesn't have to turn on her camera. I advised her that she doesn't even have to stay long. I just wanted to introduce her to my audience, but she has not responded yet. And she just says, I think my deficiency of vitamin D causes my nervousness. It's getting better though. I try to keep a stable mind. I just don't like the live. And I get it. And I'm not going to force her to do something that she doesn't want to do, but maybe I can do pre-recorded. Hey, Nikki D, pre-recorded interviews
Mhm.
with her,
Right.
and then maybe we can watch, updated interviews with Miss Renee McGee in regards to this case. So I don't want to pressure her, I can imagine. He was handcuffed and shackled. They arrested him on the day that he was supposed to be released from probation. The day that
The,
he
the, the
was
day
supposed to
before.
be right.
Hmm.
He went to meet his probation officer, and they took a drug test, and he came back dirty. But he wasn't smoking marijuana, Mary Jane anymore. So that was allegedly, conjured up, similar to the things that happened in the Kendrick Johnson case. We don't believe anything like what's going on in small town Georgia.
Small,
So,
that's state. Georgia's the state.
well, I'm talking about the small towns.
The small towns, yeah.
Yeah, small town Georgia. So he got arrested because he had a dirty drug test, and then so the probationary officer was there. Several officers were there. I have all the paperwork, and I have not gotten through all of it. I'm just giving you like a quick recap of the story, and then we'll start digging in the paperwork. But right now, this is the introduction. This is an introduction live to this case, just like we did an introduction to Jimmy Williams' case a couple of weeks ago, and we have a live scheduled this week with a follow up with their family as well. He was handcuffed. Not only was he handcuffed, he was shackled,
Hmm.
and they want us to believe that this young man got away from the police, running with his handcuffs behind his back.
And just
I
jumped in the wall.
remember shackled, and they couldn't catch him. They couldn't catch him, even though he's shackled and handcuffed behind his back. They couldn't catch him, but he runs towards the river and
And
just jumps in the river, and they lose custody of him then, right? And then days later, they find his body unrecognizable, lot worse condition than what KJ was in because he was in the water, and the fish were eating on
Mhm.
his body. Well, when they did the autopsy, guess what? Guess what's not in his lungs? Guess what doesn't support him drowning? His lungs. There was no water in the lungs. The lungs were underweight, just like Kendrick Johnson's. There's no way he died from drowning.
At
We
all.
have okay, so the witnesses came forth. They were silenced. They were silenced. Same situation. A witness came forth, gave statements. They were intimidated. They were locked up. They were cited. They were recanted. This mom has been she's been fighting for 26, almost 26 years, and we just need to pray that she will basically no water in his lungs, and we'll go through all of that. Those autopsy photos are a lot to look at. A lot to look at. It's worse. The body was worse than Kendrick's. It's unrecognizable. It's unrecognizable. I do have a few photos in the video that I'm going to play. I put it together a video um, for tonight to present tonight that we can talk about. It does have a few photos in there, and I do have some photos that I can pull up. Of course, when I do that, my video will not be monetized. So if you feel like you want to bless the channel, great. If you don't have to. We can get super channels, memberships, also cash out, whatever. I'm not begging for money, but it is something that YouTubers do. So don't make a big deal out of it, trolls. Anyway, so let's get right into the video. You want to say anything? I've been talking since we got on here, nephew. What up? What it do? What you been doing?
Psh, I've been chilling. Did work on my car, but I actually did a little research
Did you?
um on him myself.
Did you?
Yeah. Hmm.
What you find out?
Yeah. You knew about the what is when they got the other examiner out of what it was California.
Come on, you tell us about that, because I haven't got that far yet.
Um, they discovered gunshot wounds and everything to him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He was severely beaten,
Mm-hmm.
and
Said
all of it.
it said it was three gunshot wounds all together,
Right.
and one of them was point blank range. That is crazy, bro. Like,
But she can't get justice. The police murdered him, and she can't get justice. She can't even get the FBI file.
But
Every
but
time she
but the GBI medical examiner Melissa A. Sims,
That's her, Melissa A. Sims.
she I told my she didn't say nothing was wrong with him besides the fixture,
Yeah, which
which
was
is
a lie.
yeah, exactly, which was crazy.
Uh,
That,
she,
that, that was crazy, and plus the not only was he handcuffed,
mhm,
but when they found him, some cloth
mhm,
that was wrapped up around the handcuffs,
mhm,
but me putting two and two together,
mhm,
they probably did that so the reflection of the handcuffs wouldn't be seen.
mhm. I I can see them doing that.
Right.
I can see them. And she actually back in 2000, she also compared her son's demise another Emmett Till, and I
Mm.
agree. I agree. So we're gonna dig into the paperwork, and it is a lot of paperwork. I tell you, a lot of nefarious things have been going on with this case for 25, going on 26 years. To me, it's actually worse. It's actually worse than, well, I'm gonna say equivalently to the Kendrick Johnson case. So get ready. Let's learn. Let's see what we can do to get this story out there. Like I said, we have not forgotten Kendrick. Kendrick is still on. We're on that case as well, and his live we probably be tomorrow night because I have some things I want to share with you about him as well. So without further ado, let's just watch the video, and see what we can learn. This is the introduction. I call this the beginning. Basically, the things that added up. I mean, that led up to his demise. So we're not breaking down everything that we're finding in the paperwork yet, but we're learning the beginning stages of his story. Okay? All right, let's go.
Tonight, a Macon man's death ruled an accidental drowning by investigators more than 17 years ago still leaves his mother with questions.
WGXA's Tavares Jones brings us the story of Stephen Johnson and his family's continued search for answers.
When I looked at my son body, I knew it was much more wrong than what they say, but I expected the autopsy to tell too, and it didn't. Oh gosh, but I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Renee McGee, the mother of Stephen Johnson. Back in October of 2000, he was just 24 years old. His body pulled from the Okmulgee River along Spring Street at MLK Boulevard in downtown Macon. This comes after he went missing for 6 days. At the time, Johnson was on state probation, and reports by that office say he tested positive for marijuana. In that report, it documents that he jumped into the river while still handcuffed from behind in an attempt to run from officers. As Johnson fled, it led to a citywide search. His mother claims she was misled by probation officers as to where and when the incident initially happened.
Before we go any further, let's make sure we never lose sight of who this is really about. Stephen L. Johnson was not just a name in a report. He was a son, a human being, a life that mattered, and a man who was alive when he was taken into custody in Macon. And yet somehow he did not walk back out. Before we can understand what happened to Stephen L. Johnson, we have to go back, because what happened to him did not start the day he died. It started years earlier, inside a system that had already learned how to turn small situations into life-altering consequences. His mother says it began with something minor, a case involving a $70 item, something that under normal circumstances would never justify months of incarceration, something that should have been handled as a misdemeanor, if that. But instead of resolution, what followed was escalation. She says her son was held in jail not because of overwhelming evidence, but because of pressure and because of a system that knew time itself could be used as leverage. And after months of being confined, worn down, and desperate to go home, he accepted a plea deal, not because he was guilty, but because he saw no other way out. And that plea, possession with intent, is where the questions begin. Because how does a $70 unpackaged item suddenly become intent to distribute? How do two individuals get tied to the same minor item? And how does a charge escalate instead of resolve? She believes that escalation was not based on evidence, but on necessity. A necessity to justify time already served, to protect decisions already made, and to close a case that should have never been opened the way it was. In legal terms, what she is describing aligns with what experts call charge escalation or charge stacking, where a minor allegation is elevated into a more serious offense, not because of new evidence, but because of strategic advantage within the system. She recalls something else, something that has stayed with her all these years: the presence of a copied signature, not an original, not something signed in real time, but something that appeared replicated, something she believes was used to support a charge that otherwise could not stand on its own. If true, that detail matters, because documentation is the backbone of any case, and without valid documentation, the charge itself becomes questionable. Then there is the attorney. She says the lawyer she hired, Greg Spires, told her she did not owe him any more money, a moment that stood out because attorneys do not typically walk away from fees without reason. To her, that moment suggested awareness that the charge her son accepted was not as solid as it appeared on paper, but something designed to close the file rather than test the truth in court. And yet, even after that, her son remained incarcerated for 3 more months. 3 more months inside a system she believes was applying pressure, not pursuing justice. She also names individuals, including Duncan Matthews, as part of that experience, and connects those same names to what she later believes happened to her son. These are serious claims, and they demand scrutiny, not silence. Because when you step back and look at the pattern she is describing, a small incident, escalated charges, prolonged detention, pressure to plead, questionable documentation, and a case closed without trial, you are not just looking at one case, you are looking at a process. And that process raises a bigger question. If a system can take something minor and turn it into a felony on paper, what else is it capable of doing when no one is watching? Because years later, that same young man would lose his life in custody in Macon, under circumstances that still do not sit right with his family. And for them, this is not separate. This is the beginning. This is the blueprint. They said it was an accidental drowning, but how does a man drown while handcuffed and shackled? How does that happen under the watch of those who are responsible for keeping him alive? And even more troubling, how does an autopsy reportedly show no water in his lungs, yet the cause of death remains drowning? Those are not small questions. Those are the kind of questions that don't go away, the kind that sit in your spirit, the kind that demand answers whether the system is comfortable giving them or not. Because when someone dies in custody, that is not just a tragedy, that is a responsibility. And when the explanation does not match the evidence, that is not closure. That is the beginning of a deeper investigation. And today, we are going to take it there. Because what happened to Stephen L. Johnson did not start the day he died. It started long before that. And if you really want to understand his story, you have to understand the blueprint. This is just the beginning of the story of what happened to Stephen L. Johnson. The segment will continue until justice for Stephen L. Johnson is served.
Okay, so before we begin to listen to the mom's interview that she did some years ago, she just sent me proof that he is in the autopsy report. He was negative for drugs. There was no drugs in his system whatsoever. So I'm gonna bring that up real quick. There was no drug in his system. So here's that report. A page of it is page 4 of the autopsy, where it says that there were no drugs in his system. So if everybody knows that Mary Jane takes several weeks to get out of your system, several weeks. So there's no way that they test him on the day that he was supposed to be released from probation, and his probation officer, let me throw this in, per his mom, did not like him. He did not like Stephen Johnson for whatever reasons. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten. I'm sure she told me, but I don't remember yet right now. But this is proof that he had no drugs in his system, and I think that's just diabolical. There's no way that your system will show no drugs if you had Mary Jane in your system on the day that you went to your last probation appointment and was drug tested. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We'll get to pointing out stuff. So let's just get back. Right now, we're going to watch a portion of her first interview that she did. Again, she is watching. She is just a little nervous, and this probably is a trigger. This probably is a trigger for her, you know. So let's get back into the video. Add to storage. Remove from storage. Add to storage. And let's just get back. Let's see what she has to say.
A resident of Macon, Georgia, tell me about Macon, Georgia. I don't want to hear about your case yet. I just want you to tell me about Macon, Georgia.
I moved to Macon, Georgia in December of '80. When I moved here to Macon, Georgia, my experience that it was a little slow, but I liked it. From Atlanta. Okay. I'm originally from South Carolina, Holly Hill, South Carolina. Okay. But when I moved to Macon and I got to know a few people here, I realized that the mentality here about how blacks move up or how blacks get out and involve themselves into the neighborhood or into the city was just totally different from what I had been exposed to. I moved to North Macon when I first moved here, and there was very few blacks that lived out in that area. But anyhow, as the years went on, as I lived here in Macon, I applied for jobs, and sometime I looked around and I was the only black applying for that job. And a lot of times I knew I was qualified for the job, but of course I didn't even get offered the job. But then as years went on, I learned that, to me, the mentality of the blacks that were from Macon was like they have been criticized and kept down, like you can't achieve, you can't go, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't get this job because you're black, you can't live in that area because you're black. But I was never told that, you know. If I was always brought up, you were just as good or better than anybody else. But like I said, I learned that the mentality here of the blacks was like they were afraid to move on up, and it shouldn't have been that way.
Is it kind of like institutional inferiority? Has it just been institutionally ingrained in them that
yes.
they're inferior?
Yes. I think because of what has happened, especially for me to hear about a mayor that they had here named Machine Gun Ronnie. Machine Gun Ronnie. Was it Ronnie? Mm-hmm, yeah. And about how blacks they had a curfew. They had to be off the street at a certain time. And I couldn't believe when somebody was telling me that this was going on at one time. I couldn't believe that. That blacks were so scared that they listened to this person when they paid their taxes and, you know, their money was being spent in this town. You know, that you had to listen at somebody saying that you had to be in your house at a certain time. I didn't think such a thing exists. I heard about slavery years ago, but you would think it doesn't exist anymore. But in Macon, Georgia,
Wait. Is Macon, Georgia, or is Macon, Georgia right now a sundown town? Does anybody know?
You say, is it a what?
Is it a sundown town? Because she just said that you had to be in your house at a certain time. Does anybody know? Hey, Terry.
I don't know about that. I'm 30 minutes from there right now.
Yeah, well, that's what she
I
said.
know. I mean, that you gotta realize though that was 20 something years ago too though. So
Yeah, yep. I was just wondering if there's anybody in the comments who may have any knowledge. Hey, Terry. Hey, Lakeisha. Of any if it was a sundown town, because the way she's explaining it to me, that's what happens in a sundown town. You're told that you have to be in the house at a certain time. So I was just asking. I'm not 100% sure.
I can look into it though.
Look it up right now. Well, I'll look it up. Let's hear some more of the
The
video.
mentality of the blacks, like I say, is like they were still in slavery time, you know. They were afraid to step up and make a voice
Now, you got
and be
to a
heard.
point. You got to a point where it was either fight or flight,
That's right.
because one of your children was killed in this town. I want you to tell me about that and why you chose to fight.
Hey,
rather than
Theo.
just flee.
I chose to fight because no one has the right to take someone's life unlawfully. And worse yet, I've learned that blacks are most of the time overcharged for crimes.
True.
And a lot of times they don't know. But here in Macon, it's like they tell you, well, you can't fight, you can't do anything, you can't go against the law here. And it's like, well, you know, if they say you did this, that's the way you're gonna be charged. But I learned from dealing with the issue with my son and an issue I had that blacks are overcharged.
Okay.
And
What happened to your son?
he went to report. He was on probation. He went to report October the 10th of 2000 for a charge. He was charged with possession with intent. That was overcharged. He never should have even been charged with possession with intent because he was not found guilty of it. But how he got there, an officer, Duncan Matthews, which I questioned, they took his name and put it on statements that he didn't make. And our officer that was downtown showed me the paperwork. And I said, well, this is not his original signature. These statements he didn't make. And how I knew that, when my son, they had him incarcerated. It's just a long story. When he first was charged, they
Georgia.
made him do like a month in jail. They let him out. Then he was just walking the street one day, and they locked him up and kept him in jail, wouldn't even let him out, and told him that he had to plead guilty to something. So which he did. He said, Mama, he said, I'm tired of being in here. That was in February. So he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge, possession with intent. But they were trying to charge him with, like I say, a higher charge. But anyhow, he stayed in jail from February to August. But anyhow, when years went by, that was in '96. And you would think, well, okay, he's doing pretty good. He was already kind of upset because he was already overcharged. He found out he was overcharged. Okay. Instead of just letting him be on probation and just report, they say they were going to put him on intense probation. And he was not a violent person. We never understood why they put him on maximum, as a matter of fact, I think it was maximum intense probation, in which probation officer had to come out to his house and check on him after 7. He had to be in the house at 7. This person that they put him up under was Roger Stembridge, who we found out to be very abusive and seemed to be a very hating person. This man would come 1 o'clock in the morning, knocking on the door with a flashlight, waking up everybody in the house.
Wow.
And then tell you, if you come to the door with your house coat on, you had to have your clothes on. Very abusive. They gave.
Report his
Yes.
behavior and attitude?
I reported his behavior because I think less than 3 months after they put my son, they put him on 6 months intense probation. About 3 months after that, he proclaimed my son was positive for marijuana. My son denied it, and he was like, Mama, which he said, and which of course he used to, but it's like, this man, Mama, this man is so mean. He's like, I can't do that anymore. I said, well, you do whatever it takes for you to come off of that. I said, because you're just as good as that person, that same person that's accusing you. I said, you were just as good as his.
Right.
So anyhow, I called to Atlanta to complain about him because I went to pick my son up one day when I took him to report. He had him outside sleeping the front of the office. He was outside sleeping doing the landscaping. Well, I thought it was wrong because I knew my son had quit smoking weed. He was like, Mom, I quit, and I know him. He's a very truthful person, especially to me. And I said, well, my son stopped smoking marijuana. I said, when he met Roger Stemridge, he was a reign of terror. And his choice was, Mama, I got to come out from under this man. So he chose, I'm going to do what's right. He was already upset and mad because he got charged with a crime that he was not, it was never proven, alleged. Possession with intent. Well, anyhow, of course, they said he was doing his job. That was 3 months later. Okay, another 3 months, he's thinking he's coming off his 6 months intense. He went to report. Again, Roger Stemridge tested him and said he was positive for marijuana. That day, I guess my son just had enough. He'd handcuffed him behind his back with some hinge handcuffs.
Thank you, Justice.
He was getting ready to take him to jail, I was told, and my son took off running, and he and some other officers chased him down to the river. October the 10th of 2000. That was around maybe between 2:30 3 o'clock, no later than 4. About 6:25, Roger Stemridge came to my door to tell me that my son escaped. He was in handcuffs. He had him handcuffed behind his back, and he escaped. And he was getting ready to leave, he and some other officers. And he said, can I search your house? And I said, yeah, he's not here. I know he's not here. I said, he don't have to be in till 7.
If they saw him jump into the river and he was handcuffed behind his back and he was shackled, how in the heck would he be at her house? Why would he be at her house? It would be impossible for him to be at her house. Now, I read somewhere that there was a witness that came forth and basically said that Stephen Johnson was beaten by the officers near the river.
I think it was 2 of them.
Yep. He was held down and he became unresponsive.
His name was David Smith.
Uh-huh. And was then moved into the river. And they put him in, allegedly, in the river.
Did you hear that they had found two of his teeth?
Mm-hmm.
You heard about that?
I read that, yes.
He
was knocked out. His teeth were knocked out.
Yep.
Diabolical. So the search, what do you guys think that the search at her house was for? Was it just a ruse? Because, come on, they knew that he was not at his mother's house. Well, they already knew that because they had beat him to death, allegedly, and put him in the river themselves to try to cover up the crime. You know how allegedly they tried to bake Kendrick Johnson's body to destroy evidence or speed up decomposition? Well, it's the same tactic. They put him in the water, though. Ridiculous. Go ahead.
I think he did that just to try to play it off, but I mean, he really made himself look even crazier, even doing that. Like, and then it even makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. All right. So let's get back to it.
And he was always home at 7. So he walked through the house, didn't look in any rooms, came back out, asked Steve, if you're in here, come out. I mean, he shined the light in the bathroom. I mean, you only look in one room. You got a whole house here. You got 8 rooms or more in the house. You only look in one room, the bathroom. And as he was getting ready to leave, he turned back around and told me, well, if he comes home, tell him he got to turn himself in. And he left. Never heard from him again. My other son and I, Craig, my baby boy, we decided to go looking for him. But first I called the department asking had they apprehended him. That was around 7:30. They said no, so Craig and I, my younger son and I, we went out looking for him in the area he said he chased him in, out across from the probation office. We called his name, looking for him. I put my hands behind my back and walked the area, and I said, well, maybe he fell in the river. So after we looked for a while, I went back and called the Macon Police Department and asked them would this drag the river. I said, maybe he fell in the river. They told me, ma'am, he's an escapee. You know, we don't know where your son is. So anyhow, that went on for almost 6 days. We were looking for him, and I asked them to drag the river for almost 6 days with no help. And on the day they treated me like, well, you know, he's an escapee. We don't know where he is. But you chase a young man down to the river in handcuffs, handcuffed behind his back with hinge handcuffs. But you don't put on the news, Stephen Johnson, we chased him down to the river. All of a sudden, he disappeared. No media coverage. You don't even come back to the house and ask, well, has he returned? You know, have anybody seen him? But better yet, it should have been major news coverage because he was in handcuffs down by the river. Oh, gosh.
I agree, Theo. I agree.
That same week, the body came up. 6 days, we go back. 6 days, like I said, we looked for him. It was Monday, October the 16th. We had been out in the area looking, in the area that they say they chased him in, looking in the river. We happened to see 2 guys in a boat just riding back and forth, looking in that area, in the river. They weren't fishing. I left my area and went to the probation office around 4 and asked them, what could you all do a missing person report? Can you put it on, do media coverage? Of course, they denied it. I got home around 6. I got a call from the probation officer. His probation officer, Hurley, called and told me now I can do a missing person report. Within 30 minutes, I got a call and said that my son's body had been found by the river. So I went down to the river. Officer Matthews, David Matthews was there, Lonnie Miley was there, and I said, can I go identify my son? They said, ma'am, how do you notice your son? Go back, especially Lonnie Miley.
Same thing they did to Miss Johnson.
They said, you can't go down there. I said, well, you all chased him down to the river. I said, Roger Stembridge. I said, he told my son 3 months early he had a bet on him that he would not make it off intense probation. I said, you tell him he won his bet.
That's the probation officer.
Roger Stembridge, who has a history of terror. Especially treating blacks, from what I've been told by a lot of blacks here in Macon, even sad to say, even whites, that he is just, a major reign of terror. And I've told he's murdered other individuals. My son is not the first person that he's murdered. Sad to say, by a captain at the police department, he sat there and told me to my face, ma'am, I was his supervisor in the 90s, late 90s, and he killed another black man. But it made him resign. Okay, it's sad to say, like I say, here it goes again. Here's a black person telling me, okay, I know this man has done wrong. I know he's been treating blacks wrong, but this man is still able to walk around with a badge and a gun. He left the police department and went to the probation department. Still a major reign of terror. From what I told, there's been several blacks that he's murdered and placed weapons on him, pretending, I was just protecting myself. But my son wasn't protecting himself. He had handcuffs on. The day the body came up, one of the men that was in that boat that day, he was at the Waffle House and he was talking about what had happened to my son. And coincidentally, somebody that knew us heard it and got in contact with me, and I asked him, asked her, could he have him get in contact with me? So anyhow.
Real quick, guys, I am currently, oh my goodness. Oh, I am, you can hear me. Currently trying to confirm that he was shackled. I read that somewhere, but she keeps just saying handcuffed. So I don't want any misinformation out there, so I'm trying to confirm with her. Again, was he indeed shackled? So I will let you guys know here shortly. That is what I read, and I try to look it up, and it says it is a narrative that's out there, but it's not publicly confirmed. So I'm hopefully she's watching and she's able to confirm it. If not, I want to correct it before we leave.
He had me meet him at the Waffle House. I met him, and he was telling me about how
Hey,
bad it
Jalen.
was the day my son was murdered. He said it was so bad, he didn't want to talk to me in depth about it, but he said he was there not only the day that my son was murdered, but he also was there the day that the body came up. He was there, he pulled the body up. The police wasn't telling the truth about how that body was found. He said after they pulled the body up out the river, he said, ma'am, I told the officers, he said somebody had beat the H out of him. But he said it was so bad that they started putting mud all over his face to cover up the bruises.
Yep.
There was a lot of things he told me that was so horrific, that you wouldn't even think that somebody would do to an individual. From pistol whipping, beating, and then the worst part is you turn around and shoot somebody 3 or 4 times. Once point blank in the head.
Coroner's report indicated shots
No,
into the body.
no, didn't.
So we had another Dr.
So
Gaffney
how
Craft
would you reach that conclusion?
on the case.
Yeah. Like I said, that day,
Why'd
they
you
refused to let me identify him the day the body was found.
Right.
That was on that Monday. That Tuesday, I was supposed to be able to go identify the body at the morgue, but Lonnie Miley called me. He told me I couldn't do that. He said they identify him by fingerprints.
Who is not involved?
He's deputy coroner
Okay.
and a member now of the city council. So they were supposed to release the body Tuesday at 11, but they didn't. They called and told me that the body wouldn't be released until Wednesday. I got a call from the funeral home and said that I need to bury him, not look at him. And I said, well, I'm not burying anybody if I don't see him.
Right.
So the body, they received the body at the funeral home. Well, I saw the body around 11 at the funeral home, Bentley Funeral Home. And when I went in to look at him, it was horrific.
Most certainly was.
There was knots sticking all up in his forehead. There was a hole above his right eye.
That's where he got shot in the head,
His
probably.
lower legs were twisted. His arms were out of place. Gosh,
Yes, Michelle, I will.
the smell was just terrible. What bothered me more was to sit there and look at him, mutilated like that. And they said he just fell in the river and drowned. That Tuesday when Lonnie Miley called me, he said, my son died from asphyxia. I called him back after I saw the body and said, asphyxia from what, choking or drowning? One other major thing that I asked him to do was to send my son's body to Atlanta. I said, because of the conflict of interest here. I said, the body needs to go to Atlanta. He said, ma'am, the same medical examiner in Atlanta is going to be the same medical examiner that examines your son here in Macon. I said, well, I don't care, send the body to Atlanta. He didn't send the body to Atlanta. And I'm thinking a body in water should have been re-examined, but they didn't. That's burning.
He's going to get you some tea.
Okay, thank you.
Just stay where you are and
Poor
thought.
lady.
You're doing excellent.
My son had a hole above his right knee, like a round bullet hole in his right leg. He had holes in his chest. None of that was documented. But the worst thing, they never gave me an autopsy report, a copy of the autopsy report. I called, and of course they'll say, well, it's not available, not available. Matter of fact, the city of Macon never gave me a copy. Our attorney I had, wife, accidentally sent me a copy. This was January of 2001. But when I got a copy of it and read it, thank you, there was nothing on there about the hole in his head.
Okay.
There was nothing on there about the holes in his body.
I'm gonna stop it right there real quick because I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you this one photo. Disclaimer: it is horrific, just like what she said. So if you do not want to see the photo, please exit the live right now and come back. I won't keep it up long, but I do want you to kind of see what this mother went through when she identified her son's body. Yes, Macon, Georgia. This is what she had to look at. I have another photo as well. Hold on a second, I'll pull that one up. Yes, Macon, Georgia, Michelle Birch, Macon, Georgia. This one is even more horrific. I could not even identify what I was looking at. I had to ask her, and then I had to look at it more. And then that's how I recognized his face and his lips. So, brace yourself. So, this is what this mother had to endure. And this is the last image of her baby that's in her mind, even as of today. And she is a strong woman to be able to look at those autopsy photos. And like she said, she didn't get all of the photos. She didn't get the full autopsy or nothing. So we're going to try to get that for her through a FAIO request and see if we can get it now. All right, so let's get back to the video. Where's the video? Oh, right here. Let's pray for this mother. That's all we can do. And try to help her. Try to help her with everything in us, the same energy we put in the Kendra's case.
So I called and questioned about that. I told him, I said, I heard my son was shot. And I told him I saw holes in his body. I saw his legs being twisted. I said, he had to have broken bones. I said, there's no way you could see the bones protruding up in the skin that's all out of shape in somebody's forehead and the bones not, and they not be broken. And I had pictures taken at the funeral home. Matter of fact, within 3 weeks after the funeral, the mortician, Antika's Burt, came by my house. And he told me, he said, ma'am, your son was murdered. He said, an officer, Keith Williams, told me more in detail. He said, but I can't tell you because we'll both lose our jobs.
Wow.
Coincidentally, that was one of the officers that was depositioned during the course of deposition I filed a civil suit years later, 2 years later.
Right, Theo.
That officer was suspended for like 27 days.
Keith Williams?
Keith Williams. He worked at the funeral home also. But he kept sending me messages. There was more to it, but he couldn't tell because he would lose his job. I did get messages from different people. And coincidentally, he's related to my grandson. And his grandfather spoke to me. He said, ma'am, he said, Keith said, Steve was murdered. But of course, you know, he can't just come out and talk to you. And it's so sad for officers or even people to know that someone was murdered unlawfully and they can't say anything.
Salute.
And it's sad, it's worse for you to sit there and look at this body mutilated and knowing that there was much more to it, it's much more wrong, but you're looking at paperwork from a medical examiner and our deputy coroner, Lonnie Miley, the medical examiner was Dr. Melissa Sims, stating that it
Before
was
we say
accidental
anything else,
drowning. Nothing documenting The hole in his head, the hole in his leg,
Stephen
the
L.
twisted
Johnson.
legs.
He walked in alive,
He walked in alive.
but he didn't walk out.
He walked in alive, but he didn't walk out. Truth in the dark, we gon' bring it to light. Hands in chains, still they say it was doubt, but something ain't right. No, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Oh,
We still stand, yeah, we carry his name. Through the silence, through the system, through the pain. They can cover it up, but we breaking them chains. This that truth, this that fire, this that flame. They said drowning, but the story don't breathe. How you drown with no water inside what they see. How you cuffed, how you shackled, no way to be free. And still they expect us to trust what they read. Nah, this deeper than words on the page. This a life that was lost in the system of cages. This a mother still crying, still flipping them pages, trying to make sense of them lies they be staging. Making nice, something shifted that day. Making where he didn't walk away. Custody means you protect. That's the code, so explain how he died on somebody else's road.
he walked in alive, but he didn't walk out. Truth in the dark, we gon' bring it to light.
Bring it to light, guys.
Yeah.
That same energy that we give Kendrick, we need to give Stephen.
Hands in chains, still they say it was doubt, but something ain't right.
Everybody
No,
drop
something
justice
ain't
for
right.
Stephen
No,
L. Johnson in the
something ain't
comments.
right. No, something ain't right.
Yeah.
Don't forget him, don't scroll past his name. This ain't numbers, this ain't stats, this ain't fame. This a soul, this a story, this a pain that we carry, cause love don't fade. And we question cause we supposed to. When the answers don't line up, we expose truth.
That's
when
right.
the system go quiet, we go
The
loud.
truth game.
God gave vision, we don't move coward. This ain't hate, this that righteous fight. This that stand in the dark and still bring light. Even when they tired, even when they done, we still stand till the truth gon' come.
This ain't just a case, it's a calling.
Heavy, 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 heavy,
When the
heavy,
world
heavy,
move on.
heavy.
We don't,
Because love like this,
it come from God.
he walked in life,
He walked in alive.
but he didn't walk out.
We the voice, we the truth,
Whoa.
we the shout.
He walked in life,
For the ones who are silenced, we loud.
hey.
And we won't stop now.
Won't stop now.
We won't stop now.
We won't stop now.
Still stand.
Yeah, we planted in truth.
Every
he did not
lie
deserve
get
it.
exposed.
Every hit and get proof.
It's that love.
Only heaven produce.
And we fight.
We fight.
We fight
We fight.
for the truth.
All right, all right, all right. So there we have it. That is the introduction of his story for Stephen Johnson. So again, we will be getting deep into the paperwork, just like we did and still are doing the Kendrick Johnson case, as well as the Jimmy Williams case. Michelle Birch, our sister, in the comments, she has a story as well. We will be getting on her story as well. Michelle, if you are still here, I don't know if you want to come up and do a live interview after I look into your case, which is best, because our audience would love to get to know you and to hear what you're going through from your own mouth. So hopefully you will want to come on the panel and let's talk about what the nefarious things that you're also experiencing, our sister. Does anybody have any questions regarding to Stephen L. Johnson? I cannot answer a lot of questions yet because I'm not that deep in the paperwork yet. But this week I will be. All right. Our sister Michelle says that she will be willing to come and give us a live interview. I know I do have an interview on somebody else's panel on Wednesday. So we'll Y'all, I hope you guys will meet me over there. I'll post it on my page. Me and Jay will be on his panel. I've been on his panel before. I'll repost it on Facebook. We will be getting with Shanaria Williams regarding Jimmy Williams Sr. And tomorrow, I want to get together and I want to talk about Kendrick. There's some things that I've been getting phone calls from locals and from Valdosta, and some things that are being said to me are blowing my mind. And I don't really know how to express it. I don't really know how to put it out there because I don't want any of you guys or anybody to think that I am in no way focused on uh, damaging the people that we love, which are the Johnsons. But I'm getting so many conflicting stories, so much information, and this is from local people, our people, that I just have questions. And I think that if I will withhold the questions from you, then I'm not being fair. Then I'm not doing a non-biased investigation, if that makes sense. Uh, there's some things that came up that just make me just question some things. And like for instance, there was a fight that happened right after Kendrick's body was, and this is in the file, was found at the gym. It was a fight that happened to a young man that was 16 years old. And then it's just a lot, guys. And I swear I'm trying to be very, very careful because what I don't want to do is what a certain person is doing to me on purpose. In my case, it's not me doing it on purpose. It's me trying to bring everything to you guys so we all can learn the truth. And if that makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, yes, God would lead me. But anybody got any questions about any upcoming lives, anything else you want to discuss tonight? I know that this live was short. I didn't mean for it to be long because it's just an introduction to the case. Yes, Kara, God will definitely guide me. Justice for Stephen, hallelujah, amen. Your real name is Lauren Birch, aka Shell. Yup. Well, whatever you want us to call you. Shell. Maybe. Okay. We'll set up something with Shell in the Winston-Salem also. I'm in Winston-Salem also. Anaka and Nat, were you trying to tell us something? Do you have a story that you want to tell and share with the audience? Everybody is welcome to share their story. This is a family, you know. Auntie Leah, we are here to supposedly to support each other, and there's no ill intention. There's no nothing. We basically would like to just support all victims and their families, and try to help you guys get your stories out there, especially if your stories are not in mainstream media. If you're not being heard, we want you to be heard. So please share your story. So we got some amazing things coming up. Not really amazing because we don't talk about anything really amazing on this channel but God. But I think you guys know what I mean. We got some other stories coming up, even though my heart is still in the Kendrick Johnson case. I'm waiting on more files, and it's just getting messy out there, guys. It's just messy out there. Let's see. Anybody else? I'm gonna have to bring it. I'm gonna have to let the documentation out, but I'm praying on a way to present it to where my heart, which is not being messy. I'm not being messy at all. But you know how they'll twist anything that I do. I don't know why I'm the subject, but I am popular for a reason that I don't want to be popular for, because it's not true. So I'm trying to be careful, but at the end of the day, I can't withhold anything from you guys. You guys need to know. We all want the same thing. We want the truth. We all want trust justice for Kendrick. One thing I know for sure, Kendrick didn't go into that mat. I don't care what is in the files or what happened surrounding or the aftermath of what happened. Really is kind of irrelevant when it comes to justice for Kendrick Johnson, right? And that's our focus. However, there are some things that we all need to know that happened afterwards. We need to set some things straight. And I'm also looking for looking through the footage still, trying to find things that stand out, and that's time consuming. But we'll get through it. We'll get through it. So, nephew done cut off his camera. Are you still here with us? He probably done stepped away and eating something on him. But if not, no further ado, we will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be talking about Kendrick Johnson. Thank you, Sharice. We love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Anybody that wants to tell their story on this platform can tell this story. Anybody that needs help bringing awareness to your situation, you can tell it here. And I will look into it. Of course, I have a full-time job. And no, I did not lose my job because of the Kendrick Johnson case. That never ever came out of my mouth. You can't believe everything you hear. I never said it. Don't believe it. I have a job from 8 to 5. I work Monday through Friday. So I'm doing my best to get through the paperwork so I can, get the facts on Stephen Johnson and still Kendrick Johnson, of course. That's our heart. And Jimmy Williams Sr. as well. So, salute. Without further ado, meet me here tomorrow, same time. I love y'all. Before y'all leave, we got to listen to our song because we got to let them know we still stand. Right? Right. Y'all be blessed. This the Truth Gang. Truth Gang.
This ain't about clout. It's that love you can't explain. That God put in you. When everybody else walked away.
We still stand, even when they don't see it.
Yeah.
We still fight.
I'm so sorry, Kara.
Even when they don't believe it.
Yeah.
Love so deep. Yeah. It don't need a reason.
Yeah.
Them fists in the comments. Put them fists in the comments. Praying hands. Justice for Kendrick Johnson.
Yeah.
Justice for Stephen Johnson. Justice for Jimmy Williams.
Through the pain, through the lies, through
Justice
the weight.
for Michelle Birch.
For the ones who can't
Justice
speak, we
for
awake.
Kara's Hog Daddy.
This that love they can't fake.
Hey.
Yeah. They say, leave it alone. Let it rest,
we can't.
let it die. But how you turn your back when the truth still cry? When the silence too loud, when the story don't add, when the system go quiet, but the spirit stay mad. This ain't anger, this alignment with a high call. When you chosen, you don't get to ignore it at all. Even when the family tied, even when hope thin. Gotta send a stranger just to step back in. We don't move our feelings, we move our faith. Even when the road long and the path ain't straight. It's that burden you carry that you
we still support AJ's Army.
Now you
for
got
sure.
something to prove.
Sharice.
We still stand, even when they don't see it. Even when they don't see it. We still fight.
We still fight.
Even when they don't believe it.
Even though they don't believe it.
So deep. Yeah, don't need a reason.
Don't need a reason.
God gave purpose. We just walk in his meaning.
Yeah. They don't get it. How we love people we never met.
Hey,
we
can't help
over names we can't forget. How we carry their stories.
I mean,
like
real
they
tears.
Too. That's that God in us. That's what love do. It ain't logic, it's spiritual obedience. When the world go cold, we stay obedient. We don't quit cause it's hard or inconvenient. We stay rooted, firm in the sequence.
Be blessed, everybody. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Even when they
salute.
Silence us, we
Meet
talk
me tomorrow.
again. Even when they doubt, we still defend. Cause truth don't die, it just waits to win. Even when the victim's voice fades, Even when the world moves on, we don't. Because love don't expire, and purpose don't clock out.
Yeah, we planted in truth. We still fight just to God in our roots.
Hey.
Fire, we rise, we produce. For the lost, for the silence, for the youth. We still stand. We ain't leaving no field. Every wound, every scar get revealed.
We not going nowhere. You can't make it.
And we won't stop till the truth is revealed.
Same time, Cherie, 7:45 p.m.
Till the truth is revealed.
Justice for Lauren Michelle Burks. See y'all tomorrow. Love y'all.
This ain't about attention.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
This ain't about clout.
Thanks for coming. Please.
It's that love you can't explain.
Like, share, and subscribe. Come back
that God
again.
put in you.
Yeah.
When everybody else walked away.
Like, share, and subscribe.